Excellent. There you go. Okay, and welcome everybody to tonight's essential oils class. It's lovely to have you all on. It was really lovely to meet lots of you at the MBS show. I know some of you have come from different places as well, but we really enjoyed doing that show. It was so nice to be back after 3 years of, you know, the COVID no-show thing, and it was just lovely to have that physical contact and to be able to put oils on some of you and to, you know, experience the oils together. I've really missed that, and it really, you know, I guess reminded me again about how much I love sharing these essential oils with others, because my journey's, you know, started 8 years ago with essential oils. My name's Becky, and I came across these oils quite by chance through my mum, and they've really made such a difference to myself and my family, and now so many friends, and then strangers that have become friends over the years, that I've really been able to see how the oils have helped to empower them, but also help to, you know, bring them off certain things that were causing them harm as well, and bringing their bodies down rather than working with their body. And so these oils can really be quite life-changing. And so tonight, we really hope that you'll get an insight into what these essential oils can do, and also some of the other health products that dōTERRA do, because what Becky and I are both really passionate about is the whole body health, right? So dōTERRA is an essential wellness company. It does specialize in essential oils, but it's really focused on helping the whole body to be able to work at its optimum again, which it, you know, was born to be able to do, to be able to heal itself. And that's what we're about really with dōTERRA. It's about bringing your body back into that state where it really can work its magic, which is what the body is born to do, and to heal itself both physically and emotionally. So why is health so important? You know, I love these two quotes here, and I think over these last couple of years, either us, you know, ourselves personally, or we've seen it in others, haven't we, how health has really like affected a lot of us, whether it's physical or emotional. And even before these last couple of years, but it seems to really have become more apparent, certainly to me, over these last couple of years. You know, life, we can have everything in life, can't we? And if we don't have our physical or emotional health, then actually life is tough. No matter what we have, we can achieve some certain dreams, we can have lots of money, whatever it is that we have, lovely family and friends. But if we are not experiencing good physical and emotional health, then every day can literally be a struggle, and we're unable to reach our potential, and we're limited so much. So our body, like I said, we truly believe that our body is able to heal itself when it's in balance. Unfortunately, because of the world we live in, and most of us are, you know, not in the middle of the Amazon where there's less toxins, so we're exposed to toxins literally every day. And these toxins, our body can deal with a certain amount, but once they go over a certain threshold, then our body is unable to be able to do what it's supposed to do, and to protect and fight whatever comes its way. So look at all these kind of things that we're exposed to, and this is just kind of the main ones that I thought of, and there are many more, but we are, you know, pretty much under attack a lot of the time. And so we need to support our body. You know, thoughts and emotions is a massive thing as well. So what, you know, our thoughts and our emotions do to our body is really compromise our immune system and release chemicals in our body that has a knock-on effect as well. And we get in this kind of like negative cycle. So we're going to start here with food and water, because essentially that plays a huge part, right, obviously, in how our bodies function. And so if we're not getting the right food and not getting as pure water as we can, then our body really is going to have a very hard time trying to fight the rest of the things that I've just spoken about. Now, unfortunately, we can eat a really healthy diet, and I try to eat healthy, and I know quite a few of you on here probably really try to keep a very clean diet. But because our soils are now depleted of many nutrients and minerals, even if we're eating, you know, raw foods and trying to be so clean, our bodies are not getting the nutrients and minerals that it needs. And our body is therefore compromised and unable to do what it's supposed to do. And so this is why dōTERRA have come up with this incredible supplement, and why it's so important for us to all have this kind of foundational health, so we can then go on from that point.
Yes, and actually it is dōTERRA's #1 selling product, which is interesting, isn't it? And that's because they put the essential oils into the Lifelong Vitality pack, so they work together. So in this first pack on the left here, which is the vitamins and minerals, that's what's in there, that working together, and I'll talk to you about that in a moment as why they're so good. But also in the second pack, there's essential fatty acids, a carotenoid blend, and that's where the main amount of essential oils are in it. And then the next one is the Alpha CRS, which is a cellular longevity blend and also a cellular energy blend. Now, they've also, not just because the other one has fish oils in it, there's also a vegan pack, which has all these plant-based oils in it. And this is the one I take. And again, you know, this is great. It still gives loads and loads of energy and everything else that's needed in the body. Now, you can see that these are just some of the ingredients in these 3 different bottles. But what's really unique about the Lifelong Vitality is that they are all really absorbed into the body. Most supplements are really just expensive urine, so you're paying for it, but the body isn't actually absorbing any of the ingredients. And so what dōTERRA has is this very special, it's called a glycoprotein matrix process, and the food is actually going through a fermentation process. It isn't where it causes candida or anything like that. It's just a fermentation process which ends up with all these products working together. So the body absorbs them, which is incredible. And this is why the body feels it. Even after 1 to 2 days of taking these supplements, you should feel a difference. But what is recommended, and I was recommended, because if you're on these supplements, the body actually recharges the organs and everything within 3 months. So you will see a difference within a month. And there is actually a 30-day guarantee that if you don't feel better, you know, you don't feel like your sleep is better, you don't have more energy, they will actually give you your money back. But most times that never happens because people do feel a difference. But I do feel very strongly that 3 months is when life-changing stuff happens. Because you're getting all these good nutrients in you and the body has a chance to heal. Now, as I said before, the great thing is that the essential oils are in these bottles. And so the essential oils have all the different chemistry in just 1 drop of essential oil. So they are working with all the foods, the vitamins and minerals, the mushrooms, the ashwagandha, every different thing that is in the body, because there's so much involved in these 3 bottles. And that's why, again, we're having such results, because the 2 are working synergistically together. Now, just look at all the positive comments that there are. These are just some sentences from different testimonies, which are thousands and thousands across the world, of the different things that can happen in your body. We have to be compliant, so we can't talk about specific ailments. Which is frustrating, but if you can look at those different positive reactions, you might be able to see in your own life how that could bless, or somebody in your family, how it could bless their life and change what's going on with them physically. Now, what's interesting is think how much it costs, you know, a bar of chocolate, a newspaper, packet of crisps, a coffee $2.50 a day, from if you're buying it from a shop. Just the full dose of Lifelong Vitality costs less than £2.50 a day. And if you decided to do half a dose, then that's only £1.25 a day. Now, I have to say that most people to start with do need to go and work up to the full dose in order to change the nutrition in their body, because they are depleted. Because a cabbage today is not a cabbage 20 years ago, because, as Becky said, the soil is not the same as it was. So, but just think, where do our priorities lie for our health? And again, just 30 days of a few capsules in the morning. It takes me 30 seconds, and sometimes less, to take the capsules. And then I have an alarm on at lunchtime to remind me to take them again, because I forget to get on with life. But yeah, so now the other product we want to talk about today, which is a life-changing product too, is called Terrazyme. And these are another product that dōTERRA's very successful with, is digestive enzymes. Why do we need them? Well, our bodies are actually, again, quite depleted in digestive enzymes because of stress, because of poor nutrition, over processed foods, and especially after 30, we are really declining from what we should be having in our bodies. And just a little quick example, if you had 2 bowls of porridge and you put 2 capsules, that you opened them into one of the bowls of porridge, in about 15 to 20 minutes, one of the bowls of porridge, the one with the capsules in it, would be liquid. And this is what it's doing in your body. It's helping your body to break down the proteins, the carbohydrates, the sugars, the legumes, the gluten, the dairy. It's helping you break them down because we're so depleted in enzymes. So if you want to know more about this, if you take a photograph of this slide and go to this link here on our website, you will see a video that I have recorded today, actually, so it's very quick. I need to do it again, but you will see a video there explaining in way more detail about why Terrazyme is so good for you. So the gifts of the earth, the essential oils, we're going to talk about those now. And Becky's going to go, oh no, it's me, isn't it? Okay, so if you look at this peppermint here, can you see this peppermint leaf? And to the side, you can see the little white sac. That's the peppermint oil inside it. And if you break the leaf like that, like we often love to do as we pass by a lavender bush or whatever, to smell it, you go like that and you break the essential oil sac and smell it. And this is the releasing of the natural aromatic compounds. Now, what dōTERRA do is the farmers, they go in and they extract and distill these plants, and they contain hundreds of different compounds, providing the versatile, complex, different abilities to combat the threats. And actually, they don't build up resistance to them, and there aren't the side effects that we get with the pharmaceuticals. Now, if you look at this cell on the left-hand side, what's interesting is that pharmaceutical medicines, most of them are water-based. And so when the water-based medicines come to the cell membrane, they can't get through because the cell membrane is oils. But when an essential oil comes to that cell membrane, it goes straight through. And the molecules are tiny, so they go straight through. So viruses and anything else that needs to get through that cell membrane, that's why essential oils are so powerful for healing. Now, if you remember at the show, we sampled you with peppermint and wild orange. And remember that just one drop of peppermint is equal to 28 cups of peppermint tea. So when you look at our bottles of essential oil and compare them to other bottles of essential oil where you're going like that, remember that you only need 1 drop. And in the bottles, so the 5 ml bottles, you're getting 80 drops of essential oil. And in the 15 ml bottles, you're getting 240 drops. So that's a lot of essential oil uses, as you only need tiny amounts. Done that. Now, the thing about the essential oils, it's a very natural approach. And what happens is that it's the body, that the oils are going in to find the root cause. And that's why it's whole body healing, not just, target one area of your body, just target where we think it is. It may not be from that area. So what the oils do is they go in and they go where they're needed to go. You can put them on the bottom of your feet and they will go into the rest of the body very fast. So they will actually address these root causes, and they will enhance physical and emotional health. And Becky will a little bit later talk more about that emotional health, but it's so powerful. And that's why, as a herbalist, I really love the fact that my tinctures and my herbs that I used to use didn't go in on an emotional level, but the oils do. And they go in physically and emotionally, and emotional healing is so important for our health. And as I said before, side benefits, safe benefits without side effects. Mm-hmm. Now, there are several types of oils. They're synthetic, and that's really kind of the biggest group of oils there is. And, you know, they can even say pure on it because they don't have to have much oil by law in there to be able to say it's pure. Then there's the next grade, which is food grade, which is still that the law is still not there on the food side of it to make it 100% pure guaranteed. Then there's therapeutic grade, which is used for massage. And then there's this grade, which is certified pure therapeutic grade, CPTG, which is dōTERRA's standard of quality that they put on the oils. So they have third-party testing to guarantee that the oils that you buy are 100% pure. And if you have a bottle of oil and you look on the bottom of the bottle, you will see that it has a number. And that number is shown on a website called Source to You, where you can go and you can type in that number and you can see that it has a certificate for your oil. They do also third-party testing, not just in-house testing, so that you can trust that they are really as pure as they say. And that's why we get the healings, because they're guaranteed no pesticides, nothing in them other than the pure essential oil. So natural, no artificial ingredients, certified free of pesticides and other chemical residues. They're very potent as well. So when they choose the farms, well, actually, they're not farms, they're actually the countries where the farmers are used to growing these plants, they will choose that plant because it's potent. So it's not just to be pure, it's got to be potent in the chemistry as well, because they're grown in all, over, so many countries of the world. And yeah, they need some plants need the wind, the rain, the damp. They need the climate to make it strong and healthy, and the chemistry just right for our body. And again, the strict third-party testing.
Okay, thanks, Becky. So, do you know what? We've kind of changed our class over the years. We used to go straight into the oils, but now we kind of focus on the lifelong vitality and the TerraZyme to begin with, because as we've been recommending oils to people, we've realized that most people, majority of people, were going around with compromised health from the beginning, right? That we need to kind of bring up to kind of a foundational health, like I mentioned at the beginning, and then the oils are more effective, right? So if we're really depleted in the nutrients, then the oils are not going to be as effective. Of course, they're going to have effect, and of course, they're still going to help us with things, but we need to bring our health up to that foundational health, so then our body can work with the oils and we'll really experience the real optimum health that we're all looking for. And, I was definitely one of those. So I was struggling severely with fatigue, borderline chronic fatigue, actually. And also after my third child, I had quite bad postnatal anxiety. It was quite debilitating. And so I started taking supplements. Hadn't ever taken supplements before, actually. I tried to eat healthily and I wasn't sure about supplements because what Becky had said, I'd heard rumors that they're expensive urine, blah, blah, blah. But I took these, and after 2 weeks, my anxiety had completely gone. So that was the main thing that I noticed. I felt a completely different person from the time that I woke up. It was really remarkably different. And then after about 6 weeks, my energy levels started to really increase, and they kind of reached an optimum at 3 months. Like Becky said, it takes about 3 months for your cells to replenish. So the lifelong vitality was incredible for me. And that's actually something I've chosen to stay on. I did, because I've got a background in science. So I was like, well, I'm going to do a little test. So 6 months in, I came off the lifelong vitality. And my husband was actually begging me to go on within about a week, because things changed a lot and my anxiety started coming back and my energy levels were going down. So I've really realized the difference in my life, and not just then mine, because obviously I started really recommending it to other people I knew that were struggling with similar symptoms, or, you know, I read about all the other things that Becky's kind of mentioned that it can help with. And so it's really helped people with like severe emotional stuff. So we talk about physical and emotional because the two are so linked. But like severe emotional stuff, again, a lot of it is due to lack of the right nutrients getting into the cells. And then also people that we know have been quite physically debilitated. They haven't been able to properly walk. And that's been one of the recent ones that we had, didn't we, Becky? And we had we showed a video on that recently. And that was quite remarkable because he went from not being able to walk after a couple of months of being able to like run around with his dog in his back garden, was the kind of the second video. And so it's things like this that really kind of propel us forwards and make us more passionate about sharing, because, you know, I do think that a lot of us are going around feeling like this is it for us, that this is the best it can be, right? We're getting older, so we should expect to have compromised health. Well, actually, no, you know, we can thrive well into our 80s, 90s. And so a really good supplement helps with that. So this lovely picture here kind of shows the story of dōTERRA a bit more as well. I think it's important. I mean, obviously we're doing the business and there is a great business opportunity, but most people in dōTERRA are customers. You like the oils and you want to use them and the supplements. But I think it's still important to know where these things come from and what's the line and who are the people behind these. And as Becky said, dōTERRA source their oils from all over the world because Mother Nature is all over the world and has produced these beautiful plants in different countries that produce these incredible medicinal essential oils. And so because dōTERRA have now got the largest scientific team in the essential oil company, they've been able to discover what essential oil is best from what country, where to source the best lavender, where to source the best frankincense, where we're going to get that chemistry that's going to be the most potent for our healing. But they also try as far as they can to source them from countries that are developing, so they can really give back to economies that don't sometimes have a lot of hope of improving, right? And so they'll go and form partnerships with these farmers who have been doing this for, you know, like a long, long time. It's been passed down through their families. They're professional growers, but they have been often exploited by the middlemen and not been given a fair wage. And therefore that has impacted greatly the quality of the essential oil market, right? Because they're being forced to harvest them way before they're going to be at their optimum for healing. And also they've kind of encouraged farmers to cut corners because these farmers have to survive, but they're still not making a living from it. So what dōTERRA have done is they've completely started to change the essential oil market in that way, leading the way by paying these farmers a fair price, even to the point where if they have a washout crop time, sometimes that happens, they can still rely on a fair wage. And so these farmers, instead of being incentivized to cut corners, they are being incentivized to make sure they produce the absolute top quality essential oil they can, because dōTERRA will not accept anything less. And that's another reason why dōTERRA's oils are just so different to any other oils on the market, you know, as well as the testing that Becky talked about. You know, there's no pesticides, but they really don't cut any corners. And they're the one company that are with these farmers from the beginning all the way through and absolutely make sure there is no compromise. Just one other thing on that as well, they actually give to the communities by helping with schooling and water supplies and other infrastructure and things like that too, which is lovely. So on to the essential oils. We'd like to kind of tell you a little bit about these, obviously. We're going to focus on the 10 core oils. So dōTERRA do over 80 oils now and supplements and cleaning products and other things to help us remove toxins from our lives. But that's a bit much to cover in one class. What this class is aimed to do is kind of focus on the introductory oils. And dōTERRA came up with these 10 core oils because combined, they pretty much combat and address 90% of emotional and physical things. And what most people are dealing with, it's a great place to start. And And we're going to talk about this starter kit, really. You can buy the oils separately, but the 10 core oils we're talking about come in these starter kits. And the reason why that's a good place to start is because when you just buy 1 or 2 oils, right, that you think, oh, that will address that need, because we all have different chemistry in our bodies, sometimes we don't respond the same way as the next person does to peppermint. And sometimes we might need a combination of a few oils to give the result that we need. And often that is the case, actually. These oils work really well together to produce results. And we'll talk a little bit about that as we explain the oils. But certainly all of you qualify as part of this class for a free 30-minute consultation as well. So in that class, we can address your specific needs and what you want to get out of the oils and help you to see it's the combination of oils. But for most people, this 10 oil starter kit is the best kind of place to start, and with the supplements, and we'll show you them at the end. So how can you use these essential oils? There are 3 ways. Aromatically is pretty standard, right? Most of you probably know about that. You can breathe them in. It's a great way of affecting your emotions up into your brain there, working with your limbic system. Very safe as well. So you can have the oils diffusing all day long, 24 hours a day. Great for children. If you have pets, it's also great. Just leave the door open if you have pets and let the dog, the cat kind of move in and out. They know. They're very good at knowing what's good for them and what they don't want. Very good at like killing airborne viruses. There's a blend we'll talk about, the antimicrobial blend, that will kill airborne viruses. So if you imagine if someone's coming into your house coughing, I go and put my diffuser on, or I'm usually having it on anyway, but I'm not worrying about, that kind of thing affecting my family. You're killing it in the air. So it's a really good way of preventing you getting sick as well, and very safe, as I said. Topical application, very effective for localized pain. If you want to affect a certain area, so like a headache, for example, you'd want to put it on that area. Muscle pain is being shown here. That's quite a common one for topical. And as Becky mentioned, when you put these oils on your skin, they will go through and enter every single cell in your body if needed. The oils know what to do. And so a good place to put them on topically if you want to get that systemic, so all over kind of effect, is on the bottom of your feet, because you've got the largest pores in your body. And in most cases, it's the most rapid absorption. A really safe place for kids as well. Just to mention on topical, some of the oils are obviously more, we're more sensitive to some oils than others, and some are definitely what we call hot oils. So again, in your one-on-one consultation, we can talk to you more about that. So I often do use some coconut oil, which is the oil dōTERRA recommend, that I just put on first and apply a couple of drops of the oil on top. Internal use, that is very unique to dōTERRA. And if you have any aromatherapists on here, you might be shaking your head going, no, you can't take them internally. And that's because it is often still taught that you can't, and absolutely you can't when an oil is adulterated, which most oils on the market are. They're either synthetically produced or they are adulterated, which is why you get those cheaper oils out there. And so unless you've got a completely pure oil that you can trust, you absolutely would not want to take that internally. But actually, I tell people you wouldn't want to put that in your diffuser either, or put it on topically, because you're adding to that toxic overload that we spoke about. So internal use with the oils is really effective in many ways. Obviously, if you want to get gut effects, you want to be taking them internally. Any indigestion as well, often internal's better. Not to say you can't rub it on topically. If I've got a bit of a sore throat coming along, I'll gargle with some essential oil. But even for like cooking, you can cook with these essential oils, and obviously if you heat them up, you're going to change their chemistry. So raw cooking is the most effective for the medicinal benefits, or some lemon in your water to help remove the toxins from your water. That's really effective for that. So 3 ways you can take these essential oils.
Can I just say that there's also loads of recipes on our website, delicious. We're just adding a little bit like a cocktail stick to the stronger oils into the bottle, put into your food at the end. The citruses you can put into smoothies, salad dressings, oregano, a tiny bit into spaghetti bolognese. There's just so many recipes that you can find on there. It's exciting.
Yeah, it is. Next, thank you. So just a bit on the essential oil safety. Obviously there are instructions on the bottle. Use with glass, so do not put the essential oils in plastic bottles because they are very effective at drawing out toxins, and lemon especially, all the citrus oils. So if you're putting it in plastic, you're going to get the lovely toxins coming out from the plastic into your water. So that's not going to be very nice. So don't use them with plastic, please. Citrus oils, you just need to be a little bit aware of them in the sunshine. We're getting into the sunny weather now. So just don't put them on exposed skin before going into the sun, else it will cause irritation. It will react with the sun and you might get a little rash there. So please don't do that. And just be careful of the blends as well. Just make sure you know what oils are in the blends, because some of the blends dōTERRA do, you might not realize they've got some citrus oil in. For example, the antimicrobial oil we're going to talk about is called On Guard, but that has wild orange in it. So you might not know that. So just check the labels. Try not to put them in your eyes. I have been known to put peppermint in quite a few times in my eyes, just because I forget. I put it on my hands and I breathe it in and I'll touch my eyes. It's not going to do any harm, but it's not going to feel great. So please don't rush to the tap though. It will just sting a little bit. Don't flush it with water because that will make it worse. So just use a carrier oil, or you can just ride it out. I'm so used to it now. I just ride it out for a couple of minutes and that will go. But just try and avoid your eyes and not up your nose, obviously. Hot oils, we said, just, oregano, these kind of oils, just please definitely dilute. And for children, different ages, and we'll talk about some tools that will, give you the absolute specifics of how much you have to dilute. You don't need to remember, but just being conscious not to put oils directly onto children's skin. I do on their feet because that's a really safe way. So the oils are really easy to use. Like anything, before you use them, you can think, gosh, how am I going to start using these? The best thing is just to throw yourself in, get your starter kit and just start playing around with them, because they're not like drugs. Like Beck said, there's no side effects to these. The rule of thumb is to use 1 to 2 drops at a time. They're very potent, and generally it's every 2 hours as needed. Sometimes one application is absolutely fine, whatever way you're doing it. Sometimes for more chronic conditions, you need to apply them a few more times. So there are some tools to help you though to get going. There's a really, really good website, this top one here, the essentialsupplies.co.uk. dōTERRA are not allowed to produce any material themselves that directly links the oils to healing anything. You can understand why, compliancy and all that. But however, we've got some wonderful people that have been using the dōTERRA oils that have created these great resources that do just that. So you can look up ailments alphabetically, you can look up the oils alphabetically, and it will tell you exactly what to do. It also, this Essential Life book here, gives examples of some or more recipes, cleaning things, gardening things. So it's just a really good starter book. Excuse me, I've got a tickly throat. And there's another book that I haven't put a picture up here. It's called The Advanced Magic Book, and that's also from the same place. And then this website here is really good. So that's the one Becky's already mentioned. dōSuccess.co.uk also has some other useful things, and that's completely free to use. We just want it to be there for people to kind of learn more. I mean, that's what we're mostly passionate about, is educating, because that's what empowers you and helps you to become, able to do it by yourself, independent. There's also an app. So we all use apps these days, really handy when you're out and about. The app that we recommend, there are a few out there, but the one I like at the moment is the Modern Essentials Plus app. And again, you can just look up everything and it will help you on the go. It's about £6 and the book is about £26, I think, Bex, huh? So how can essential oils help? We have already kind of covered this, but just to kind of go over it really and emphasize, essential oils, they can enter every single cell in your body. So they can, some will really interact with the cellular DNA. So there's certain essential oils that that is what they do. They go in and they reprogram and correct anything that's functioning, incorrectly on the DNA, level. So that's incredible. They really catch things at the very, very core. They're not treating symptoms. I mean, yes, you do get relief from symptoms, but they're actually going in and reacting and repairing the core of the problem. So on a physical level and then on an emotional level. So here, you know, they actually can cross the blood-brain barrier. So when you breathe them in, that's one way of getting them up to the limbic system that will affect your emotions, change those thought patterns. They react with your hypothalamus, which is where trauma is stored. So it can help to work, you know, people through their trauma as well and release that. So there's so many uses of these oils. And on that website I shared, and I just talked about the general starter books, there are a lot of books on emotional impacts of the oils and how they can help with which emotions, that kind of thing too. But also with the brain, you could put a drop of oil on the top of your mouth, and that's a very quick way of getting into your brain, or on the brain stem at the back of your neck here. And that oil will go into your brain and again, correct anything that needs to be corrected in your brain. So repairing at the cellular level, so the DNA again in the brain, which is just incredible. If you think of all those ailments that you can have, the degenerative ailments in your brain, the oils can really help to certainly slow that down or even prevent, certainly help.
Okay, so we're now going to share some things about the oils. Obviously, if you want to know more in depth, you just type into Google dōTERRA lemon or dōTERRA lavender, and you will see videos, you'll see information on it. So we're just going to give you a little bit of a taster on each of them. So first of all, you can see there that the three together are antihistamine. And I just want to share a little an example of how I used it a few years ago to great effect. So I have 5 children, and my youngest son, I was probably about 28 then, he came running over and he said, I've been stung, and his whole arm was swelling. So I said, quick, get a bottle of water. So one of my children grabbed the bottle of water, and I put 1 drop of lavender first, 1 drop of lemon, and 1 drop of peppermint last, because peppermint is a driver and drives the other oils in. Always use peppermint that way as well. And then shook it up, and he drank the whole thing really quickly. And literally within 1 minute, all the swelling had gone down. Now, I just want to teach you all that if you do things quickly like that, you can get very, very fast reactions. If I had left it till the next day, the swelling would have taken a lot longer to come down. It would eventually come down with the oils, but when you act fast like this, you get these fast reactions. So also dōTERRA do capsules, so you can make them up yourself or you can buy them. It's called Tri-Ease, and also for those seasonal allergies where you need antihistamine. Now, the lemon essential oil is great for cleaning with. It makes your home smell beautiful. Get rid of the toxic chemicals out of your house and clean with lemon. Clean the bath with bicarbonate of soda and lemon. Just so and the oven as well. There's just so many ways you can use the lemon oil for cleaning, but also 1 drop in water in the morning and on an empty stomach will do all the things that fresh lemon will do with the liver and cleansing the body, except that it's even better because it doesn't damage the enamel of the teeth like lemon does. So you can just put 1 drop and eventually work up to 2 drops of lemon in your water. It's brilliant. Now let's go to lavender. So we all know that lavender is a very calming, soothing oil. If you put it on a burn, so put the 1 drop of lavender on a burn and then the peppermint on the top. And that will be an incredible combination because the peppermint will cool down that area very fast. And I have seen loads of times where this has worked if you do it straight away. Lavender and then peppermint. On some burns, depending what kind of burn it is, it might need you to do it every 15 minutes, but you will see massive relief, and sometimes that burn gone within 1 minute if you get it really fast and it's like a scalding burn. Then we have the peppermint. Now, the peppermint, if you felt it on the back of your neck at the show, the peppermint has like a cooling or a warming effect, depending what your body needs. But you can also put 1 drop of peppermint up the spine if there is a fever, and it will bring down that fever very fast. If it doesn't straight away, then again, you need to do it every 15 minutes. And if it's a baby or a child, then you would dilute with coconut oil. It's also, you can make a spray. It's also very cooling. It's also great for, like, ants don't like it, moths don't like it. Mice don't like it. So it's quite funny actually with ants. You'll see them just all run away from the peppermint. Yeah, there's so many things with the digestive system as well that you can use. And remember, I said it's a driver, it will drive all the other oils in. Now let's go to these next ones, which are immune boosting. So first of all, oregano. Oregano is like the big guns oil when you really need something very strong to go in for the body, like parasites. What else? Like, you know, anything where it needs to get rid of something that's really strong in the body. So it could, so like for instance, molluscum, children get molluscum. We've seen that those results where they have to go on medication and it just still doesn't go. Whereas this will go in like a few weeks, and molluscum can take months. Also warts and verrucas, again, be careful, dilute it unless it's on the bottom of the feet, because it's hard skin on the bottom of the feet. So be careful. Because it is a very, very strong oil. You can take this one internally. Again, if you're brave, you can gargle with it and it will, you know, get rid of stuff here very fast because it is so strong. Take it internally for the parasites. And again, anything where you need it, that strength. Melaleuca. So Melaleuca tea tree is really great at bringing things to the surface. So it fits spots or boils, or I've even seen splinters come to the surface with the Melaleuca. If you put oregano and Melaleuca together, you have a powerful antibiotic without side effects. And children, you can put it on their feet, both of them, together on their feet. But just remember, you need to be consistent. So I would put an alarm on 3 to 4 times a day and have it going for a few days. It will work, but you must be consistent. Then we'll go to the next blend, which is On Guard. And this is the antimicrobial, antiviral blends. Again, this is being used in hospitals all across the world. We have hospitals in the UK using this blend, which is fantastic. All through the last few years, we've been using this blend. They had to do it in a spray as well. We have it in our pockets. And instead of those toxic anti-sanitizers, as you go in each shop, we use this instead. And you can diffuse it in the home and it will kill anything that's coming its way. Really powerful. You can clean with it on your surfaces, and then you can put food straight on top of it. You can also use it to make a punch, you know, for drinking it, because it's got cinnamon and clove and wild orange, and it's like a Christmassy smell. So there's just so many ways you can use this blend. Just type it into Google and lots will come up. The next blend is the Air blend. In America, it's called the Breathe blend. For compliance levels, it has to be called Air here. Again, think what it's used for. Anything for the respiratory system. So again, this one has been used by hundreds and thousands of people over the last couple of years. So it's also really good, not just for the chest and the respiratory area, but also upper respiratory. And you can breathe it in, you can put it on topically here, and put it onto the back as well, and also on the bottom of the feet if there are younger babies or children. And again, don't forget to diffuse it in the home. The next blend is the digestive blend. In America, it's called Digessen. And here, this one, a drop in water internally or topically around the surface area, which is a big surface area here for it to go in topically or on the bottom of the feet. This one is so good for anything to do with the digestive system. And remember, it could be diarrhea or it could be constipation. What the oils do is they go in and do what's necessary and bring the body back into balance. So anything digestive, just think of it. This is what's needed. Oh, okay.
Thanks, Lex. Yeah, with the Air blend, I just want to mention an experience that a good friend of mine had with her son, because it was quite an impactful one for me, and it's helped quite a few other people with respiratory, suffering really badly with like asthma or, you know, things like that. So this little boy, he was 2, he had like severe asthma, to the point that he was on steroids, all the medication he could be on, and he was still going into hospital at least once a week with quite a dangerous asthma attack. So she started using breathe air now, and frankincense, combined it with frankincense, because frankincense, we'll talk a bit more about that in a second, is what's called an enhancer. So it enhances the effects of other oils up to 10 times when you're using a pure frankincense. She used this every day. And after the first week of doing this, alongside the medications, by the way, the attacks stopped. So she was no longer having to go into hospital with those asthma attacks. So already that was life-changing. And it was about after 6 months-ish, she was able to, with her consultant, she was working with her consultant the whole time, go through, come off the air, sorry. I mean, not come off the air, sorry, just changing the slide.
Sorry.
Come off the medication. So he was able to completely come off the steroids and just use the air and frankincense to manage this asthma. And, you know, he's still using it now, but not having to even use the air and frankincense as frequently. And he's now, I think, about 10, saw him quite recently, which, yeah, that would be about right. So that's just amazing, isn't it? So the oils can be used alongside medication. They are really safe. There is one that I'm going to talk about in a second that you have to be a little bit careful of. But they can be used alongside medication, and often your body can come off the oils as well for even serious things like asthma. Like with the case of this boy, it was actually going in and healing what at the core again, because it's not just treating the symptoms. So that's cool. So Deep Blue, this is another blend that dōTERRA do, and it's part of the 10 core oils. And this is the anti-inflammatory blend, basically. It's good for pain. This is the one that got my husband believing that oils did something. Took him a while, but this one finally convinced him after a football injury. And I've used this quite a lot for back pain and knee pain. That's what I've suffered with. And so it comes in an oil, but also comes in a rollerball, and it comes in this lovely cream I actually have by the side of my bed, because it's great for growing pains for children as well. Really effective. I have 4 kids. One of my child has suffered greatly from really painful growing pains. So that's there in the middle of the night when she comes in sometimes and needs to put that on. It contains oils such as wintergreen, peppermint, helichrysum, which is a very expensive and, you know, great oil by itself. So you get that in with this blend, and an oil called blue tansy. So it actually comes out blue, this oil, which doesn't have any dyes in. It's naturally blue from the blue tansy plant, which is lovely. But you can see all the things here that we've put on there that it can help with, and more. You know, if you think of any pain, this is what you'll reach for. And even for headaches, for some people that suffer with migraines and severe headaches, the peppermint and lavender, which we often would suggest, isn't quite enough, and it's the deep blue oil that they find helps. So this is where we were saying sometimes just getting a couple of oils, you know, it's often not great, because sometimes it's a slight trial and error that you have to do and find out what the most effective oil is for you for that particular thing. So the last oil we're going to mention tonight is frankincense. It's the king of oils, an incredible, absolutely incredible oil that's been worshipped throughout the centuries. It's the highest vibrational oil. So it's used for many emotional things, but also if you know about when you're sick, your cells actually vibrate at a much lower frequency than when they're healthy. So, you know, everything is science, you know, even the emotional stuff as well is science. And so the oils would go in and increase the vibration, the frequency of your cells. And that's how that can help you get better as well. But also it's used a lot in meditation because of that, that quality that it has. It's an enhancer, as I said. This is the essential oil that I would use. There are a couple of others too, but this is one of the main ones I would use for DNA repair. So there are oils, a lot of oils will go in and repair the DNA, but this is one of frankincense's properties. Frankincense is very unique in the fact that it has such a diverse chemistry. So it has a lot of different properties that it can then, that's why it can help with so many different things in your body. So there's often a saying, when in doubt, use frankincense, and that's because it truly can help with everything. It's the one that I would again use to pass through the blood-brain barrier as well and help with anything going on in the brain to help repair that. It's good for superficial things too. So it's good for the deep scarring, you know, post-surgery, or even pre-surgery as well, to prepare the body for the healing. It's also anti-aging, so it's good to put on your skin. And a great property that it has is it actually kills and can identify cells that are behaving out of control. So cells you don't want in your body, it will actually stimulate them to basically commit suicide by a process called apoptosis. So it won't affect your healthy cells, but it will get rid of your unhealthy cells that you no longer want in your body. So this person, even though it is one of the most expensive oils that you get in the kit, for example, on its own, it's about £76 as a wholesale cost. And I'll tell you in a second about this. It's about £56. You know, you compare that to lemon essential oil, which is £9 retail, £7 something wholesale. You know, it's because frankincense is very hard to get hold of, very hard to get the pure resin. You know, these farmers have to leave their homes for 3 months. They have to collect a lot of resin just to get a 15ml bottle of frankincense. So it's not just the fact that it's a good oil, so we put a higher price on it. It's not at all. dōTERRA put the price that it costs, and that's how you know it's completely pure as well. But I use this every single day because it contains 240 drops, and I use a drop of this every single day on the top of my mouth because I want it to get to my brain, and it's then preventing any underlying issues that I'm not even aware of and correcting my cellular DNA. And I'm confident that it's doing that. So that's why I'm wanting to take that every single day.
And it's interesting that Seb, who's a biological dentist, he was suggesting that we put the frankincense with an oil called copaiba underneath the roof of our mouth when we go to bed at night, to help with people that are teeth grinding and also stressed at night. And just have it, I have it just by my bed, so by my pillow, so I don't forget.
Yeah, absolutely, Bex. And the On Guard blend actually that Becky mentioned earlier is also very good for mouth hygiene, like tooth abscess and anything going on in the mouth too. I just remembered.
Yeah.
Cool. So we've come to the end of the class. I'm just going to explain how you can purchase some oils and how kind of dōTERRA works. You can purchase, 1 or 2 oils at retail. That's not the best way of getting the oils because you're going to be paying full price for them. dōTERRA have offered everybody a wholesale membership, which is how I get my oils. So you get them at cost price. So you get them 25% off the retail. So it's the wholesale costs you're getting them for. And the membership only costs £24 for the year. So literally once you've bought 1 or 2 oils, you'd have paid for that membership for sure. And you then can renew that at the end of the year for just £18, but you'll get a free 15ml peppermint, which costs about the same. So it's, once you've got your wholesale membership, you then get to purchase as and when you want to at 25% off retail. So the wholesale costs that we'll get it at. So it's much cheaper doing it that way. But also what dōTERRA do for when you first start is they provide kits, as we kind of mentioned, which also include the membership. So Bex, do you want to move on to the next slide? So here we go. So, the kit we used to always kind of recommend and say was the best starter kit was the 10 core oils, but actually we've definitely changed into this. So we feel like this is a great starter kit because you're addressing that foundational health with the Lifelong Vitality Pack and the Terrazyme. So helping to bring your body up to that level where then the oils are going to be more effective. And then you can use these key core oils here to help with your health as well. So you've kind of got a good combination there. And so this kit costs £207.30. It includes the membership. So you get a cheaper way. Good question, Dave. I'll cover that. You'll get a good so you get, obviously with the kits, you get the oils at a much better price, right? They put more oils in, and if you were to buy them singly, you'd pay a lot more for them, and you also get the membership, so it works out a lot cheaper. PB Assist, yes, well spotted, Dave. So that's your probiotics. We didn't really go into probiotics. I think a lot of people do know about probiotics. They are so important for your health as well. Your gut biome is just so vital. So again, it's about that foundational health.
And I've just mentioned very quickly that they have enteric, so they're encapsulated, which means that they have a process which bypasses the stomach acid and gets straight to where they need to go. This is why these ones are particularly good.
Yeah. Okay, so these are the other two kits, and these are the ones we used to just talk about. So also, you know, really good starter kits. And if you do just want to get going with those 10 core oils, then these are the best place to start. And then perhaps you could add in the Lifelong Vitality afterwards. So these contain all the oils that we've spoken about tonight. The difference between these two kits is the smaller one down here contains 5 ml bottles. So they contain 80 drops of essential oil. So it's kind of the taster kit. Whereas the Home Essentials kit contains 15 ml bottles, and you get the diffuser as well in that one. So for just over twice the price, you get 3 times the amount of oil with the Home Essentials kit and a diffuser. And again, the membership is included in both of these. So you then have your wholesale account. You can purchase as and when you want to. So I started with the Home Essentials kit. That's how I started my journey. And then you've got a few oils, like we're saying, you can kind of start to work out what oils work best for you and the different combinations. So that's the end. I will stop recording in a second, but just to say, you know, you will get your one-on-one consultation, and that's where we can like really help you with your specific health needs, really, and help guide you and answer any questions you have. And also direct you into getting more information for your specific needs. So this was more designed to be a general intro, and we really hope it has been that for you and you're excited to kind of get going with the oils. Like I say, they've you know, changed the way I use a medicine. I mean, I've always tried to avoid medication, but now I just don't ever have to use it. And that's just so empowering. And to always know there's these amazing natural tools there is just incredible.
So if there's anybody here, once we stop the recording, if